welcome to Cross My Stitches. My name's Jackie and today is January 27th, 2022. I can't believe it has been almost 2 years of COVID. Are we not over this yet? Oh my God, the world has gone crazy. And today is episode 66 and I'll be sharing with you what I've been working on for the last 3 weeks. So it has been since December 31st, my birthday, that I had videoed. And I thought I'd come back on here and show you what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks. So I was part of Baringo. So that is a monthly challenge that is put on by Carolyn Zook from C. Zook Stitch and Robin Hall. They have a Facebook group. I'll post a link below if you're not aware of what the group is. And they do monthly challenges, and for January we do Baringo. It's like bingo, but Baringo. And it's very similar to WhipGo, except for you get a new number called every month, a new number called every day for 25 days. And you have to stitch on specific projects that you have listed. All that I will put, like I said, the group below. You can look at that. We're at the end of January, so Baringo is over. The rest of the months, except for September, they do a monthly challenge, which is much easier to do. It's not as time involved in doing it. And then in September, they do another bingo they call AB Singo. So lots of fun. Get you to work on a lot of projects, or you can pick one project and make it match the prompts that you need it to match. Whatever works for you, and if you don't make it all, it's no big deal. It's just having fun, so don't stress yourself over it. So I'll go over, I'm going to do things a little backwards today. I am going to go through my whips first. I will show you new starts, and then I will show you my one small little finish, okay, because that's all I got done. During Baringo, it's very hard to get a finish when you're only working on something 1 or 2 days during the month. And a lot of times my stitching, I only get to work about 2 hours a night on my days that I work, and then on my days off, a lot of times I can get 4 or 5 hours in that day. Sometimes I can't get anything because I have appointments all day, and unfortunately I can't get any stitching in at all. Sometimes I'm just too tired to stitch because I start getting cross-eyed when I'm too tired and I can't stitch at all. So let's go through them. I'm going to show you before pictures on my phone of what it looked like before Baringo and what it looks like now. So the first one we're going to do is, and I'll pull the pattern out here. This one is Mr. Jingles. He is a kit from Imaginating in Diane Arthur's. This is what he looks like. I love him so. He is being stitched on 11 count because that's what came with the kit. He is a large stand-up, and I like it because I can see it no matter where I go with just my regular glasses, which is awesome. And I will show you where I was before, if I can get my phone to work. Okay, and it's a lousy picture, but it's the only one I have of a before, and it looks like this. So you can see I got his hands done, and I started working on the pattern on his sweater. And this is what he looks like now. He is my car project, but I have not been stitching in the car for the last week or so because it's been so cold that I can't stand to sit out in my car. I was having issues again with the heating, and I'm trying to move my thread while we're talking, and I just couldn't sit out there because I had no heat sometimes in my car. So, but I did get some progress on him, and this is what it's looking like right now. And that's the pattern on his sweater, and his hands, and the cuffs to his arms. His arms are here. There's some dark thread that goes in here that will make the arms stand out. But that's where he's at. And you can see that's just part of his design and how big he will be. Because if you look on the picture, this is the part that I'm working, is this little part right here. And look how big he's going to be. I'm going to love him. I'm absolutely going to love him. The kit came with his legs, the base, his hat, all that stuff. I think I'm going to change his nose. It's stitched on. I think I may do a 3D nose in stitches and attach it to his face. We will see if I get the courage to do that, because I'm not sure I will. We'll see. We will see. So that's what I did with Mr. Jingles. And like I said, he was a kid. He's being done in DMC, and he's done an 11 count Aida. My next project, I'm going to pop things on the floor as I go just to make it easier. My next project is my son's stocking, which is the winter. I'm trying to get the pictures going, the whole shebang. Sorry, I'm looking down. Is the Winter Wonderland stocking. It is out of this book of Stony Creek, Christmas in the Woods. If you watch Amy Loves Toads, you know that she did her stocking and she got totally finished before Christmas. I'm still working on mine. But this is one of my focus pieces for this year, to get this stocking done and my husband's sled stocking done. So we will see how I get going with this. So there it is right there. This is what it looked like before I started stitching on it this month. So this down here, right here, are the deer's antlers. And you can see the squirrels and the birds. And this is where I'm at now. And I apologize up front, nothing is ironed this time. I just did not have time to iron anything. So we're just going to wing it. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Get it folded right. And this is where I'm at now. That's the bottom right there, the deer's face. So I got all this greenery in here, greenery here, and then I've started on the deer's face. And this is such an adorable pattern. I just adore it. And my son knows nothing about it, so I'll be so thrilled to be able to gift this to him, hopefully before Christmas, and he'll be surprised. But absolutely love this piece. And it's so easy to stitch on. It is on a 28 count mushroom Lugana. And Lugana happens to be one of my favorite fabrics to stitch on because the stitches lay so even. If you've never tried Lugana, if you're an Aida stitcher, I know switching, sorry for the zipper, I know switching is very hard to switch from Aida and counting over 1 to go to counting over 2 and not lose your place. It does take practice, but it's worth the practice, because not only does your stitches just lay so smooth on Lugana, you can do 1 over 1 on Lugana as well. So it's great if you have a project that has over 2 and over 1. It makes a great fabric. It feels good. The threads, I know there's a waft and a something or other. I don't know. They're totally even. So it's not like linen where you get slubs or anything. Lugana does not have any slubs or anything in it. It's really a beautiful fabric to stitch on. So my next one is my husband's stocking. So it looked like, my phone wants to keep shutting off before I get a chance to show anything. My husband's stocking looked like this the last time I showed it. You can see I've got a majority of the sled done there, and I got the whole top completed. This is a dimensions kit, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I keep mentioning it every time, that I really struggle with working with dimensions kit. This is a dimensions gold kit, and it has a lot of floss. It has specialty flosses in it, and it has multiple threads in the stitches. You can do anywhere from 2 to 4 threads over 1, because it's on an Aida. It has to be on that stiff Aida because they're changing the thread counts on it, and you don't want it to warp the threads. So the Aida works great for these kits. And I was just struggling between looking at the key, which looks like this. I just want you all to see what it looks like. That's the key to the colors. And I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It says up here, you can see what it says. It says cross stitch, half stitch, and then it tells you how many threads to work it. So cross stitches are, let me see if I can see the code here. It tells you 2, 2, if you look right here, I'll get real close. You look right here, it tells you how many. 2, 2, 4, and it goes all over, jumping back and forth, which is really frustrating when you're stitching and you're trying to stitch just going like this, like somebody would normally do. I have learned not to do that because it takes me so long. So I decided I was just going to pinpoint on one type of stitch, which is the regular cross stitch, 2 over 1. And it is moving along so much faster. I'm going to do all the 2 over 1, and then I will go back and do the 3 half stitches and then the 4 half stitches. And I think I will get this completed much quicker that way. But here's where I'm at now. Let's get the bag out of the way. And again, it's not ironed, but you can see I finished all down this side. I've started some of the blue here. I'm all the way down the bottom. That's the bottom of the sled completely, because then the cardinal is right here, and then the snow starts. And I spent a lot of time filling in some holes that I had up in here, because I have stitches that are the 3 strand and the 4 strand that are half stitches. And I just started filling in just that part so I can get this fully completed. So it's coming right along. It doesn't have much to go. You see there's not much to the bottom there. So it'll wrap around here and be done. So I believe I've got plenty. I've got about that much fabric left when I'm done. I only need enough to make it into the stocking, so I'm not worried about that. But again, I want to get this done. This is another focus piece for this year, to get it done by, I don't know what's popping up on my screen. Hold on. Yeah, don't annoy me, Norton. I want to get it done before Christmas. It's really important for me to have these 2 stockings done by Christmas. So that was the next one I worked on, and these are all on my Bringo board. These are the ones that I worked on. That's a new start. I want to share those after. Okay, so I worked on Lady of the Flag. So Lady of the Flag had, let's get that. She was here when I started working on her this month. And she's gotten pretty far. I don't work her on her nearly as much as I should, but she is on my calendar for this year to be worked on at least the 11th of each month. And then she will be a focus on one month. I don't know what month yet, because I'm just picking them as I go that I want to get finished. And this is where I'm at with her. She's being stitched on a 32 count We the People even weave, and I believe it is a Jovelin or a Lugana, I'm not sure which, but this is where she's at now. I was working up here with all these reds and grays. So as long as I'm getting progress on her, I'm happy. So she is just beautiful on this fabric, and hopefully, you know, one of the things you worry about when you do this kind of fabric is that you lined it up correctly for the wording, that she's in the middle and being worked correctly. I did start her in the middle, so I pray that when I finish, she's going to be aligned correctly with the words. We will see. We will see. But she is lots of fun to stitch on, and again, the fabric is just awesome to work on, so I absolutely love it. My next piece that I worked on is from Hands On Design. This is Spring Chalk Spring, that's what it's called. Spring Chalk, I believe is what it's called. This is the picture. Nope, it's not going to turn. This is the picture the last time you saw it. You see the design there behind it on my iPad. And this is where I'm at now. She is being worked on another Lugana. It is chalkboard. And that's not, I take that back, that's my finishing picture. Let me see if I can find my starting picture on her, because that was not it. I thought I had the right picture and I didn't. Let's go back. Let's see. Nope, I don't have it. I don't have a picture, but that was my ending picture. Before, I didn't have any of the pink in there. So I got all the pink stitched in there. And this one is my focus piece for next month, for February. So this is one of my focus pieces. I picked two pieces each month to be a focus. So they will be worked on throughout the month. And this happens to be one of them. And the other one is, let's see, Four Seasons Band Sampler, which I don't believe I'm showing here because I have not worked on it this month yet. So you will see that coming up in February. I'll start showing that again because I still have fall and winter to finish on it. So that is Spring Band Sample, or that's Spring Chalk by Hands On Design. That's the chalk series that was in the 2016 issues of Just Cross Stitch magazine. There were 4 seasonals. This is one of the 4 seasonals, and it is being used. I think I'm using my own color choices because I didn't have the colors that were listed in the pattern, so I just picked colors for my own. I have lots of floss, some hand-dyed floss here, so I have plenty to choose from, so I just chose my own colors. The next one is called 7 Virtues. It is by Lottie Da. Let me get back in my thing here. And this is where I was the last time, and I believe I didn't even have the complete word virtues on the top the last time you saw this. So I did finish that and took a picture, but that's where it was. This is what the pattern looks like. I guess I should be showing that. I haven't been showing that, have I? This is the 7 Virtues. I saw this pattern from Jennifer at Stitching in the Bluegrass. Saw her working on it, went and bought it and started it. And this is where I'm at with it. I finished, like I said, the Virtues, and then I started the Compassion right there. So again, using my own colors. Some of them are Victoria Motto, some are Gast, yeah, Gentle Arts, and then this is called 28 count, 32 count London Fog is the name of this fabric. And I haven't figured out yet why Lottie Da hasn't, oops, don't lose that. Hasn't done, she did the 7 Virtues, but she hasn't done the other side of that, which would be, oh my God, do you know how things just pop out of your head? There's 7 Virtues and there's 7 Deadly Sins. So I really wondered why. I've researched everywhere. It doesn't look like she's done them, but it would have been nice to have the companion piece. And in fact, I've thought about it several times, trying to chart it myself using the same style letters and numbers and do the 7 Deadly Sins, which would be kind of cool to have both of them on your wall. So I may do that. So that's that one. And then I have worked on my Early American series. Where's my other? Uh-oh, I may be missing one or two. We'll find out. Early American series. Yep, I'm definitely missing. Oh, there they are down there. And the last time that I showed this, this is where I was. I was working on number 7. Right there. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 done. I haven't done the middle yet. And I'll show you what I got. This is an old 90s bag that they used to sell that had this banding running across that you would stitch on. I'm trying to think of how I did that. I think I sewed the banding on. Yeah, I must have just sewed it on. This was a bag, and it opens up, and this is what the inside of the bag, inside of the bag looked like. It had 2 pockets, and then it's got cords running down the center where you can strap on some vinyl pages or whatever you want. But I cross-stitched that band and then sewed it on there. So, but a very old bag that used to be available in the 90s. Okay, so I'm working on Abigail Adams. That's the one I'm working on. So she's number 7 in the series. And I'm using all the called for Classic Colorworks flosses. And this is on a 32 count sand Lugana, which Lugana, I absolutely love it. And I'm using Vonna Pfeiffer's The Twisted Stitchers border. So you can see my border there, and I've still got to finish it. And it looks like I haven't stitched on that since I did the 1776. This is my project that I need to complete for Baringo. This is the last item that was called, and this is my focus piece also for the rest of the year. My glasses keep sliding. And it is going to be stitched on the last 2 days of every month. I'm going to work on this. So it's coming up that I'll work on this again. But it is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to get this finished. And so this Sunday and Monday, I believe I'll be working on Early American Series. Put this back in here. This is such a cute bag. And I love the fact that it has a handle like it does. I thought about also recreating this bag and making more of them because I love that it has the little handle. And the only thing that I would have trouble with is this extremely long zipper that goes all the way around to the other side. So I'm not sure how I would do that. I'm not an expert sewer. I'm not a beginner, but not what I consider an intermediate either. I'm in between there, but I do pretty good for the most part. If I get the pattern down pat, I can whip through things. Okay, so the next one I worked on was my Little House Needleworks Little House Neighborhood. That's this one here. Absolutely adore this pattern as well. It's so cute, and I seem to be getting quite quick with it. It is, find where I left off last time. So last time you saw this, this is what it looked like, except for this picture has this tree in it, and I hadn't done that yet. So that's part of the new stitching. But that's what it looks like. And those houses were so fun to stitch. I have one more house to go. And as I've said before, this is all DMC colors. This is before they started making their own floss line. That I am changing out some of the people and animals on here so they will not be stitched until last. But this is where I'm at. I've got that second tree that I just showed you is done, and now I'm down doing the pine tree on the bottom there. And I hopefully will get that done and start working on the other house, the house that goes in the middle. But just love it. Beautiful. I got the border all in as well. As you can see, it all lined up. Yay. It's a good day in Stitcher's World when your borders when your borders line up and you don't have to panic about having to pull stitches out and figure out where the problem was. I was thrilled to death that that met up, and now I can put all the leaves in because it has all these leaves going all the way around, so I can put those in. I am going to take this out as well and put our last name in there. So I think that would look cool. I don't know why Norton's poking up again. They're driving me nuts on here. And so again, this is a piece I really would like to get done this year. It's not that difficult. It's just a lot of color block stitching, so not that difficult to do. And then I think this is my last one that I need to show on my whips. Let's see, make sure I got them all. No, that's a whip too. Hold on, let me see if I can grab that out of this pile. Because I saw it. There it is, that's a whip. Okay, bring that over. So I got two more. Okay, so this one is my, let's show the pattern first. This is Christmas Garden. It's out of the Home for the Holidays book. I'm sure you all know exactly which one I'm talking about. There's this one here, which is the Christmas Garden. Mine will say something besides Christmas. I'm thinking it's probably going to say winter garden, but it's not going to say Christmas. I've chose my own colors for it. This is what it looked like before. Let's see if I can get the glare out. There we go. So I was still working on the bottom border. And I finished that border because I worked on this several times this month so far. I finished the border and let's see, let's hold it up. I finished the border, there it is all, and it lined up too. I was so happy when it all lined up. I finished the border under the deer, and then I did the pine tree above the deer. So that's where I'm at with that. And I want to give some thank yous to a couple of stitchers that really saved me from having to not complete this piece. Because I don't know why I didn't pay attention at all about how much floss I would need to do this. I wasn't expecting a 20-yard skein of floss not to last to do this. I guess part of it was because I'm doing it 2/2, and it is on a 36 count doubloon, and I'm doing 2/2 on 36 count because I like it more full. And if I was doing it 1/2, I would have probably had enough floss, but unfortunately I didn't, and I made a call out on some of the Facebook groups, and 2 ladies stepped up and helped me greatly with getting the floss I needed. The first one is, and I'm only going to use first names because I didn't say I was going to mention them here, was Stacy. So Stacy was kind enough to send me, and I needed them to send it to me because I couldn't find the floss. One of them is a Victorian Motto that was a Christmas special edition, and they're not available anymore because I'm using 2 Victorian Motto special edition flosses. So Stacy sent me 2 from her stash, and that's really more cranberry than that. That color is not showing at all. I don't know if I pull it back here. It's still not showing right. It's very cranberry and green. They're beautiful. And it is 'Tis the Season Poison Apple and 'Tis the Season Tortoise Shell. And I believe these were from 2019 Victoria Motto Christmas when we were doing the bird out of that book. What was it? Seasons. Nope, I didn't put it back. You know which one I'm talking about. Let me look. I hate talking about something and not be able to show you what I'm talking about. Oh, it's right there. This one here. It's that one, which is the 'Tis the Season. That's what it was. Yeah, there it is. The 'Tis the Season. She made special dyed floss for 'Tis the Season, and I bought it intending to use it for 'Tis the Season, but when I got it, I decided I wanted to use other colors, so I didn't use it, and when Christmas Garden was started, that's when I realized those are the colors I want to use for Christmas Garden. So Stacy, again, thank you so much for sending the 2 20-yard skeins of Victorian Motto that I needed. Very disappointing that Victorian Motto is still not, well, I shouldn't say they're still not dyeing floss. They're still dyeing floss, but they have really hurt their customer base by not producing, having a monthly club and people paying in and then them not getting the floss and with no explanation. It happened for months and months. A lot of people were out a lot of money, filed complaints with PayPal and everything else, and now she's still selling it on Etsy, and she sells it on eBay, but I don't think she has a Floss of the Month club anymore, and if she does, hopefully she's doing right by those people that still have that. But a lot of people dropped out when that happened because they didn't like the fact that it would be months and months and you still haven't received the floss that you paid for. I have to get a drink. Sorry, my throat dries out really quick. The other one was, I was trying to get Gentle Arts Chamomile. So Gentle Arts Chamomile looks like this. It's kind of hard to tell with this little dinky skein. It's like a goldy and brown. It's multi-shades. It's really a pretty color. I was originally using Victorian motto wheat to do the goldish brown parts, but then I decided it was too brassy. I did several motifs, and I'll show you. And I decided that I really didn't like the way that it looked because it looked out of place with the other colors. It looked like it just jumped out. So let's flip it this way and flip it up. So these are the pieces. This is the color I'm talking about. So I did wheat right here. Let's drop this down. Hold on. And you can see that it really kind of, I thought it really stood out. It stands out more in person than it does right there. But I just didn't like the way it looked. So I found chamomile in my stash, and I started using it, and I'm going to open it all the way so you can see. Chamomile is this right here. And you can see it's really toned down more, it has more variegation in it. It also is used under the deer and that border, and I really love that. So I'm going to tear these out and restitch those motifs at some point. But I really love the chamomile. It was a beautiful floss. So I went to go buy it, and all the ones that I had seen were looking not quite right. You know, I'm looking at pictures on websites, trying to find the right one. Well, I went on 123 Stitch and saw that it was the same color as the one I wanted, and so I ordered it. I ordered 3 skeins, didn't want to run out. And when I got them, this is what I got. This green with the name chamomile. And I'm like, that's not tan like the picture they show. And so I contacted 123 Stitch and I told them, I said, the floss that you sent me, the chamomile, is green and your picture is tans and browns. I said, and you know, I need the tans and browns, I don't need the green. And they were kind of hemming and hawing on it, you know, well, the dye lots change and this and that. And I went back to them again and I said, well, I expect a company that's selling a product where people choose it by color on your site, that the colors are kept up to date. So they came back again and they said, we'll get back to you in a day or two. And another person, I'm not going to mention the names of the girls that contacted me, but the second one was much more accommodating. And she said, I don't think I have the floss that she sent me. No, I don't. She said that she apologized that they had updated their site now to reflect the colors. And she offered to go through the Gentle Arts and find a comparable color that was as close as she could get to the color that I needed. And I said, well, that would be awesome. You know, hoping that it would be close enough where I wouldn't matter much if I changed some of the motifs to the original, some to the new one, and just kind of spotted them along. And she was going to send me 3 skeins for free. So that was great. I was glad that at least they were acknowledging that there was an error, that they didn't keep the site up, and that they were going to rectify the situation the best that they could, which I was pleased with. They told me to keep the green ones or gift them or do whatever I wanted with them, and they would send me the tan ones. Well, they sent me one called Portobello, and I'm going to reach over here and get the Portobello. Okay. And they look like, hold on, let me find them in my little list here. I keep these all alphabetical. There they are. Portobello. And they look like this, which is very similar to the chamomile. I'll flip them over so you can see the name. So I like them a lot. But they're like a little drabber. That's a good word, right? Drab. The color's a little fainter than the original chamomile. So again, I decided to reach out on Facebook, see if anybody had some, I don't know why Norton keeps popping up on my thing. If anybody had the original chamomile color that they could send me. And Anna was the sweetest. She sent me 2 skeins of the chamomile, and they were exactly the color. Look at my hair's wrapped in it. Lordy, lordy. The exact color that I needed. So thank you to Anna for sending that to me and saving my project, because I really did love this color and I wanted it to be the goldy brown color for all the little motifs, and I was thrilled to get it. So Anna was sweet enough to send me 2 skeins. I did, in return to the 2 people that sent me the flosses, I sent them some of Silks for You silk floss as a thank you for sending this to me. So I am glad that I finally can look at this project and see that I can actually get it done without running out of floss, because I love it so. This is one of my favorite Blackbird Designs patterns. There are several others that I love. I don't work on them that often. I have such an eclectic taste in fabrics and designs that I don't have a lot of Blackbird projects started. I have 2 right now. I have this one and their song started. So hopefully I will get that done. I stitch on that now the 25th of every month because it's Christmas Garden. So I picked the 25th that I stitch on that. I also stitch, I said, on Lady of the Flag on the 11th. So 9/11 is when she was started. On the 11th of each month, I stitch on Lady of the Flag. And then my last whip is, let me get my phone going here again. I'm making sure I didn't forget any whips because I got them all pictured here. Okay. Is my Cricut Collections Edge of the Woods. Looks like this. It is a silver needle, a little help from my friends, our friends. It was a 2020 kit that they released. So I don't believe it's available yet in just a regular format. It was a complete, was it a complete kit? No, it wasn't. I purchased this secondhand, I think, on eBay. That's where I think this came from, because I did not have the entire kit. So I am doing it on a 32 count Water Lily Lugana. And the last time you saw this, it looked like this, with just one little pumpkin done. So I am doing the border around the sides first. So I'm working on these first, and then I'll do the top. And this is where I'm at right now. I got 2 pumpkins done. So, really cute. I think what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to run back stitches through the leaves for the vines. They don't have that on here, but I really feel like it needs it. So I probably would do that. That is all my whips that you've previously seen before. Now let's go to new starts. So this was a new start for Beringo. This is Spring Band Sampler by Little House Needleworks. This is what it looks like. And I am stitching this on a, what did I say that was? 18 count? I don't know. It's either 16 or 18 count Aida that I hand dyed myself. And this is where I'm at with it. Picked my own floss colors if I didn't have the called for. And unfortunately, this one had an accident. And by accident, I mean I stitched this part. And then I decided, because I had a big old long piece of fabric that was attached to, and I decided, let me get it trimmed off so I only have the fabric that I need. Well, I left a 2.5 inch border on the top when I did the cutting, but somehow I forgot the 2.5 border on the bottom, and I cut it right where the design ends. So, oops, I can't finish this band sampler, but I think what I'm going to do is I've stitched the 2 parts here and here. I think I'm going to stitch the bees, and I'm going to stitch, I think I said I was going to do the house and then maybe the bottom portion. No, that's not it. I'm going to stitch the bees, the scap that says spring in the bottom portion and turn it into a pillow and then restart it. Because I have all 4 of these, it's seasonal, and I wanted to do all 4, but I inadvertently did the wrong thing when I cut the fabric. I should have left the fabric alone until I was done, but for some reason I wasn't thinking straight and I cut it wrong, so I'm going to make this into a pillow for spring, and then I will restart it at some point, or maybe I'll just go to summer and start summer and work my way from there back around to spring. These are DMC colors, and yeah, have it in a nice little springy bag that I made, which is really cute. One of my custom bags that I happen to have made. My next new start was a series that was inspired by Amy of Amy Loves Toads. Hi Amy, the second time I'm mentioning you. Amy, I want to stitch everything you stitch. Every time I see something you're stitching, I want to stitch it. It's true. Stockings, right? I got the birds, you know, everything. So I started this. This is a series that is a floral series. And this is being stitched on a 32 count piece of even weave. I'm not sure if it's Lugana or not, but it's an even weave. And unfortunately, I can't show you the, I might be able to show you a picture if I saved it. Let me look. I can't show you, no, that's not right. Can't tell you where to get the design because the design has disappeared. I can give you the website below and give you that information to post so you can look, but when you click on the link to get the patterns, unfortunately the patterns are no longer there. So I had saved these quite a while, Flower of the Month. I had saved these quite a while ago, and unfortunately it disappeared since then. I don't know if Amy knows how to get it. I'm not sure. This is the one I'm working on. I'm going to show you the picture, what it's supposed to look like, even though it's the actual picture. You're not going to be able to glean anything from this. But there, whoops. Let's see. Right there. There it is. That's January. And this is where I'm at so far. And I really need to step it up because we're at the end of January and I haven't got it done yet. So I may be working on this today and tomorrow to try to get more stitching done on this. So it's being done 2/2 on a 32 count. Let me write down that I need to, you never have a paper when you need one. Paper, paper, paper. Flower of the Month. Flower of the Month. Right, what else did I say I would post? I said something else I would post below. What was it? Hopefully I'll remember when I'm going back through the video again that I'll remember what it was. So beautiful little series. If you want to see what it looks like, go over to Amy Loves Toads and check out her video about 2, maybe 3 videos back. I'm sure she's got a link in her comments maybe. And I will try to find the link myself and post it below. But just an adorable series, and unfortunately the link's not working. Maybe it is back up by now. It wasn't working the last time I checked it. My next new start was a design from, and I might have shown the beginning of this before, I don't remember. It is a Christmas centerpiece by Buttercup Designs. I'm going to show it really quickly because it is the actual pattern, but it looks like that. And this is where I'm at. I worked on this one day in Baringo, and this is where I'm at with it. And I really need to get this finished by the end of the month because I'm also doing a challenge, which is 12 and 12 ornament challenge. So to do an ornament a month, so I really need to step it up and get this done because, you know, she doesn't do fill in of everything. It's some things are filled in, some things are not, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get finished. So I want to get that done. And that is on the called for DMC that she lists on the thing. And it's from the 2008 ornament edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. I have those digital issues, so I have that on digital. And then I started this beautiful piece. I was so excited to start. It is also out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine issue, and it is called Antique Roses. And this is a Thea Governor design, so I was really excited because of the detail and the beauty of the color to start this. And it was one of my starts during Bringo. And I'm using the called for colors, and I'm doing this on I believe it's a 32 count even weave. I don't think that's linen. I'm looking to see. No, I think it's even weave. It's 32 count, and I got one of the petals almost done. That's where I'm at with it. And part of the challenge with this one is going to be that this design is from 2006. So March, April 2006, Just Cross Stitch magazine. And you can see there's a little bit of pixelation in her thing, but colors, because color lots and stuff, and she's doing detailed shading, it may not match exactly. So I've taken that under advisement as I do it, not to panic if it doesn't look as fabulous, detailed as hers, but I think so far it's looking pretty good. And I'm very pleased with it, and it is something I really want to get finished. So will I get it done this year? Probably not. This is not one of my focus pieces, but I was excited to get it started. And then my last one was my birthday start. And that was a crosswing collection called Backyard Favorites, and I'm doing the Blue Jays. So here it is here, and this is the, nope, get my finger around here. This is the piece that I'm starting. So that's the book right there. It's number 6, Backyard Favorites, and there you can see the Blue Jays there. And I am working this on a 36 count flax linen. And this is how far I've gotten so far. I started, one of the girls from the Crosswing Collection Facebook group had joined me in working on hers for the month of December, or starting on the 31st working on hers. She completed hers. I couldn't because of Bringo. I got locked up in doing that, so I couldn't work on this anymore, but I definitely want to work on it more. Look at that face. Can you see that? That beautiful face. These patterns always have just beautiful shading in them, and she does a remarkable job of the detail in her cross stitch and the back stitching and the colors. So if you love birds, you really need to look up Crosswing Collection. There are tons of patterns, and she's always designing more. They're just absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So that was my last one that I did. So those are my new starts, and then I have one teeny tiny finish, and it is a Plum Street finish thing I started and finished in a couple days. This is a free pattern on Plum Street Sampler's site. It's called a Valentine's Stocking, and I'm only going to show you one part where the color picture is, and there it is right there. And it was quick. It only took me a couple days of stitching it, and there it is. So I stitched this on a piece of 36 count bronze even weave. This is one of the fabrics that is hand dyed by Rolanda on Etsy, and those reds are really looking orangey red, but they're really a pop. That's Louisiana hot sauce, I believe. Yep, a Louisiana hot sauce red, so it doesn't look that orangey red. It looks red. And it is just gorgeous. I can't wait to finish that into a stocking. Now I keep saying I can't wait to finish something, but I haven't finished anything in a month or more, at least a month or more. I still haven't finished my Let It Snow banner, which I showed you. I finished that, and it's sitting waiting. I still haven't finished Needle Nick. I still haven't framed Santa of the Forest, and I have down here my Spring Welcome from the Drawn Thread that needs to get framed as well. So I'm not getting anywhere with my framing and finishing, and I really need to. It's one of those things where I have to be in the mood to do. If I'm not in the mood to do it, I just can't. I can pull all this stuff out. I can match fabrics or what I'm going to do, but I just can't get myself to do it because I'm not in the mood. I have to be in the mood for finishing. I can stitch any old time. Finishing, not so much. Not so much. So that's the things that I have been working on since the last time you saw me. I do have some other things to share with you, so I'm going to pause for just a second so I can rearrange and get myself situated for the next segment. Okay, so let's talk about a few things before I go into the haul. Questions that I wanted to ask you guys and get your input on how you do certain things or how you take care of certain things. One of them is PDF patterns. As we've come into this digital world where not everything is paper, I've started accumulating a lot of PDF patterns. Now I have mine saved on Dropbox so I can pull them when I want them, but that doesn't really help me in locating or thinking about I have a certain pattern for whatever project or whatever season I'm looking at, whatever holiday I'm looking at. So how do you store your PDF patterns? Do you keep them all like I do in categories on your hard drive or on Dropbox? Or do you print out your entire patterns and put them in your filing cabinet or in with your regular patterns? I have filing cabinet where is it? Right there. The filing cabinet right there, that keeps all my patterns. 2 drawers are all my patterns. The 3rd drawer is miscellaneous stuff, and my 4th drawer has my scrapbooking stuff, which is just 8.5 by 11 colored paper throughout. So, but I keep most of my paper patterns here by a category, whether it's seasonal or it's by the type of pattern it is, if it's animals, if it's whatever it is, or by the pattern name, the designer name. Sometimes if I have a lot of them, like Crosswind Collection, I have file folders of just Crosswind Collection. A lot of holidays, a lot of seasonal. And I'm wondering if I should print out even just the front cover page of each of my PDFs and put them in the cabinet where they would correspond. And then maybe if I use Cross Stitch Plus on my Android device to keep track of all my patterns, taking a picture and adding them to my Cross Stitch Plus app in the appropriate category, and it's kept by designer. I'm rambling here. I know I am. I'm sorry. They're kept by designer on my Cross Stitch Plus app, and then I also have started, and I got a long ways to go to go through all my patterns because I've got 700, 800 patterns, to put search words in them. You can put that in the notes, search words, to help you locate. So if you're looking for a Easter pattern, Easter's coming up, or a Valentine's Day pattern, you can type in Valentine's in the search bar and it'll pull up all the patterns that you have labeled as Valentine's. So that's a long process because I didn't do that in the beginning and I wish I had. So now I have to go back through and fix all of them. But then I think I need to do that with my PDFs. I think I need to add them to my app and put the little keywords, we'll call them keywords, in there so that when I'm ready to do a project that I can look in my app and do a search for whatever I'm looking for and I can see what I have. Because when you get up in the hundreds and I know some people have thousands of patterns, it's not always easy to remember what you have. So what do you guys do with your PDFs? How do you store your PDFs? How do you keep track of your PDFs, what you have? How does that work for you? So you can comment below and let me know how you're doing it. Maybe you have an idea that I haven't thought of or I haven't seen that will work for me. The second thing is about fabric. I am a fabric hoarder as well. I have 2 hobbies. I have a stitching hobby and I have a collecting hobby. And there are fabrics that I have in my stash that I've had for a very long time that I have not used because I have not found a pattern that is worthy of that fabric. And do you have fabrics like that too, that you just feel like you're saving it for that special pattern and it just hasn't come along yet? Instead of just using it, if you see something that will work, instead of just hoarding that fabric, being afraid to use it because you won't have any more. I have that fear on several of my fabrics that I'm nervous about using them because then they'll be gone. They'll be on a project, but I won't have them in my stash to look at and oogle over and all that stuff. And how do you store your fabrics? Mine right now are just stacked in drawers by count. So I have this armoire. It's a large armoire, and it's stacked in the drawers by count. So I have my 28 count, I have my 32, and my 36, and my 40, and a little bit of Ada. And I just can't get through it enough. It takes a long time to sort through to find the fabric I want. And I want to make it easier. Now, I've heard of some stitchers using the comic board blanks, you know, the hard card, and wrapping your fabric over it. But some of my pieces are not big enough to wrap around a comic board backing. So I'm trying to figure out an easy way to store my fabric so I can find what I want without it having to take the whole stack out and lip through it and try to figure out what I'm looking for. So what do? How do you store your fabric and you make it easily accessible to find what you want? So those are my two questions. If you have comment about those two subjects, please put your comments below. Let me know how you're doing things, and hopefully I will glean some good ideas on how I can store my fabric. Okay, so let's talk about haul. So it has been 3 weeks and I have gotten a few things in, and I purchased a few things elsewhere, and so I'm going to share them with you today just in case you see something you haven't seen before that might interest you. The first thing is I bought these pins over at Walmart for 50 cents a piece because they were out of season, so they weren't going to be expensive. But they're breast cancer awareness pins. They're actual pins that we can turn into needle minders. Now, I'm not a needle minder user per se. I stitch with a hoop, and that would be in my way if I'm stitching. I feel like I don't, because my hoop's only a 5 or 6 inch hoop that I use for most projects, and they're usually in my way. So I thought I would get these, and I'm going to gift. I have 2 sets. I'm going to gift one to a friend, and the other one I'm not sure what I'm going to do with, if I'll make needle minders out of them or not, or what I'll do with them, but 50 cents, I'd get them. I received my fabric of the month for December from Brandy at Be Stitch Me. Absolutely love her fabrics. This is a 36 count linen. This is my last 36 count linen that I'll receive from her. I changed to a 32 count 32 count Lugana. So I'll be receiving those. But this is, it's a mystery is what it's called. And look at that, beautiful. Oh my gosh, just beautiful. I almost want to say some kind of fairy or mythical creature or person needs to be on this fabric, because it is just stunning. It almost looks like you're in the night sky, which is the Milky Way, and how it would look and dazzle in the sky. Just really pretty. So beautiful fabric, Brandy. And that will be my last 36 as I switch to 32. I saw that Trish from 3 Owl Threads would post it on Etsy. She was doing a mystery baker's dozen on thread. So it was a mystery package of threads. And so when I saw it, I jumped on it because who doesn't love to get a little bit of surprises and what you could possibly get. This is what I ended up getting in my mystery package. I got Gentle Arts, and the first one is just a limited edition. It doesn't have a color name, and it's like purples and browns and just really pretty colors. I don't know why my camera has so lousy on colors. I really think I'm going to go over to the Walmart and buy one of those clip-on cameras that you USB in and see if the picture is better, because I look to myself, I can see the colors are slightly off as I show things, and that I look a little pixelated, which bothers me because the room has lights up here. I've got a window. I shouldn't look pixelated. So I may do that. Well, but I digress. Let's go back to what we were talking about. This is another limited edition. It's got some creams and tans in it. And then I got Classic Colorworks Baby Chick. What a perfect time to get Baby Chick because, and it's a very, very pale yellow because Easter's coming up. Amber Waves. I do a lot of patriotic. That's definitely a gold, variegated gold, very pretty. And then Cappuccino. Who doesn't love coffee? But that definitely doesn't look like coffee. That looks more like a faded burgundy purple. So I got those, and then I got Weeks Dye Works, and the first one is Santa Cruz, that's pretty realistic. It's a little darker than that, but it's a beautiful blue. This is Tiger's Eye, and it is golds and browns. And then Driftwood, which again, it's a muted tans and almost like ground cover kind of colors. I got a Water Lily Silk, and this one is called Brandy Wine, and that's pretty true to color there. So love those. And I got a Sulky Thread. This is color 1019, 1019. Doesn't say a color name, but it is very, see if I can block it. There it is. Orangey peach. So I have several spools of this thread, so I was glad to get that. And then I got two Krynex, which I love too because I love doing sparkly things. This is very fine braid, number 4, number 326, which is a really, if I can get that, that's pretty close. And then a very, very deep purple, which is 556, and this is also a number 4 braid. And it looks blue there, but it's very purpley, but dark purple. So those are pretty neat to get. Love little grab bags every once in a while of different things you can get and get a surprise. So I was very happy with the colors that I received. And who could go wrong with floss? A grab bag of floss. You always can use more floss. The more color variations you have, the more fun it is to stitch. So I got that. I ordered on 123 Stitch because I needed a few things, and something from here is missing because I don't know what I ordered exactly, but I do have in front of me one of the Christmas rules. This is number F98, which is the, whoops, wrong way, which is the cardinal one. I was missing a couple of these, so I ordered one. That's what the entire series looks like. So I think I have 1 or 2 more that I need to order to have the full set, so I can start that. I got another drawn thread, one of the Welcome series. I'm starting to collect all the Welcome series. That's what this one is. It's Welcome Spring. So I needed a Welcome Summer, which I don't think I've gotten yet. And this one is called, oh, this is the Welcome Summer. Sorry. Welcome Summer, that's the one I bought. So there it is there. I love the flag and the birds and the bees and just a beautiful thing. I have a frame that I'm going to use to switch out the seasons. So all the welcomes are the same exact size. So you're able to change them out in the frame, which is awesome. I love doing that on seasonals. And so I picked up Welcome Summer. I think I'm only missing one right now of the welcomes until I have the whole series. And then I saw this design on Handwork Maniac. She had this stitched on a shirt. She showed it. She wore it during the winter, during the Christmas time. You could see it, and I really loved it. And I'm not sure I'm going to put it on a shirt, but I definitely want to stitch it. It is a Mill Hill 4 Seasons called Pine Hill House. Look at the deer. I absolutely love him sprinting across the snow lawn. Just an adorable house. Love the trees. So loved it and I wanted to get it. I got that at 123 Stitch. And then I also got this at 123 Stitches, one of the books I was hunting for. It is a Mill Hill book and is quite thick, and it's called Santa's Holiday. So it's got a lot of adorable designs on it. I love this with the houses. And then this is why I adored it, was this back here. Let's see if I can get close enough. Santa and the reindeer and the sleigh, the trees, just absolutely beautiful. There's Santa skating right there. There is, I'm trying to see, there was other things. There's three, it's hard to see. There are 3 reindeers right there, absolutely adorable. This is a very large version of this Santa right here. It's up here. Just so adorable. So adorable. So I was glad to get that. I've been collecting the Mill Hill books, the ones that I really love the patterns out of. So, and the last thing I got at 123 Stitch was some buttons. I needed my buttons to finish my elf. So I got 3 of the peppermint buttons and 1 of the candy cane. So now I have another pattern that I need to FFO that's a stand-up, which is the candy elf. So I got those to finish him. And then, if anybody hasn't heard, and I'd be surprised that nobody has heard, or anybody hasn't heard about Helen D having a berry, I think it's a berry of the month, Sal. I'm almost sure that's what it is, that she is hosting for the seasonal berries. So you have a spring, summer, autumn, and fall. So she gave a code on Cobweb Corner, which is, I can't remember her name, who the owner is there. She gave Helen a code to buy the seasonal berries. It's HD Berry on the Cobweb Corner website. And I don't have the spring yet because that's back ordered. It is on its way. But I have the summer one, which is these summer berries. And this is the first one I'm going to start if my spring doesn't show up by the 1st. I'm going to start this first and then I'll go back. So I may get one done before I switch back to spring and then finish the summer when she starts her summers. The autumn berries, these are also adorable. And there's 3 berries in each pattern. And it's a fabulous price because she already discounts her patterns and then she's giving us an extra 10% to use the HD Berry code in the discount codes. There's this mark where you can put it in. So excellent price to get them. Absolutely, look at the little scarecrow. He's so adorable. And the pumpkin, I love the pumpkin too. And then this is the winter berries with, of course, a cardinal. You couldn't have a berry without a cardinal on it. This one says winter, and then they got one that's a sheep. So awesome, great patterns. I'll be starting the summer pattern, which is this one right here. That's the one I'm going to start, and I've chosen 36 count white linen. So I have my piece ready. I didn't have the color that they showed. I've got to get a drink, I'm sorry. I didn't have the color that they showed on the pattern, so I'm going to use Victorian Motto Southern Belle. And I don't know if you can see that, but it has a lot of variegation in it. It's really pretty blue, so I'm going to use that. Helen D has on her, if you go over to Instagram and look up East Coast Crafter, she has, where are they? Right here. She has put in her LinkedIn account some patterns for the berries that she has made. So they're the piece you need to cut out the berry fabric. There's some circles, there's some leaves, there's 2 more of them, and then she did some toppers. So if you go over to East Coast Crafter and go to she goes, ugh. You will see the link. You'll see the LinkedIn link in her profile, and you click on that, and you can see there's certain things you can print. not only can you print these from her LinkedIn account, but you can also print her past and current freebie patterns that she's designed. So absolutely absolutely awesome. But I went a step further because her patterns are hand-drawn. As you can see, they're hand-drawn patterns. I decided to use my program to do some digitally drawn patterns just to have crisper lines, because I really do like crisper lines. And I came up with these patterns that I did digitally. And they're real crisp lines because they are done on a program. So that's the first page. The second one had the first one had the two toppers and then the outline for the pattern. This one here, I did circles. Another template, this is the 36 count, 18 and 36 count template. And then I did some toppers that were leafy toppers in different sizes. I don't think these two are going to work very well. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with those, but I stuck them on there just in case I decided to figure something out. But these are the patterns that I came up with for the berry toppers and for the templates. Now, if you are interested in my patterns of those, because I will start a LinkedIn account and put them on there. When I get a moment, you will go to Cross My Stitches on Instagram. I will put a link below, or I'll post below what my name is on Instagram, because it's cross_my_stitches. And in my profile, I will post the LinkedIn account and I will start posting things on it. I have plans of doing a little designing of my own, some freebies to give out. I have ideas in my head that I would like to share. And another freebie, while I'm thinking about it, is this one. This is on the Sunflower Diaries website. I believe it's on their blog. I will try to remember to post that below as well. And it is Just Whisper My Name in Your Heart and I Will Be There. It's an adorable pattern, not only if you've lost a loved one, but it's a great Valentine pattern too. There it is there. It's a freebie. So check that out. Pick that up if you don't already have it. And okay, so we're going to go on with my shopping extravaganza here. From Kitten Stitcher, I ordered Harry Elizabeth Co. I've got to move something out of the book here because it's blocking the picture. There we go. So there's, and I've seen many people stitch in this, including Colette the Highway Stitcher. So I just loved it. I've been wanting it, so I just ordered it, and I'm going to do it. And Teresa Kitten Stitcher also sent a little sticker, which is so cute. I love that. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but that's stuck in there too. So I'll keep that with that. I picked up this book. I put out on one of the Facebook groups was this out of print something or other. I can't remember. It is, I'll post a link below. Okay, the out of print site. Out of print site. And then Flower Diaries. I will post a link below of the Facebook group. If you haven't heard about it, you don't know what it is. You can post for out of print patterns and kits. It can only be an out of print. It can't be an out of stock, or it can't be something that's getting reprinted. It has to be truly out of print, and you can ask other stitchers if they have it and willing to share or sell or whatever. And I was looking for this book, Just Cross Stitch. It is December 1999. I do not have anything below 2000 in my CDs, so I did not have this, but there is a reason I wanted this. But as you can see on the front, it has a fabulous pattern to begin with, Teresa Wentzler's Nativity. So that was awesome to have, but I wanted to show you what I was interested in this magazine. This was one of them, Winter Watch, which is so adorable with the cat. I thought that was just an adorable scene. Looks like it might be a quick stitch. Doesn't look very big. So I was interested in that. I was interested in Cecilia Turner. Cecilia Turner has a whole article in here about her. And this pattern is, whoops, You can see she's right there. This pattern is what is posted in the book. So that was worth the book. And this is another reason why I was watching Liz and Deb of, what is their channel? I can't remember. So Liz and Deb is stitching this. If I think about it, I'll blurt it out at some point. Acorn Pillow. I love these patterns. They are from Donna, what's her name? Donna, hold on. Donna Vermilion Giampa. Giampa. So just adorable. And it's one that I really would like to stitch. She's working on it now. It's just beautiful. And then the last thing that caught my eye in this magazine was the Santa and the reindeer on this vest, which I thought was so adorable. They've got one up here of a chickadee, and they've got Santa and the reindeer. I absolutely love the reindeer. You just get a little glimpse of reindeer, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's the reason I wanted the book, but the Acorn Pillow was the reason I was searching out the book. Besides that, I got my Just Cross Stitch magazine. I leafed through it. I don't think there's anything that excites me. The deer is nice. So this is all the patterns that's in the book. If you haven't gotten the book, the deer is kind of cute. They got a biscornu that is cardinals. There's some Valentines in here. Be My Valentine. And then a Valentine pillow. But I had stopped my subscription to this magazine a couple months ago. And I was not going to subscribe again because it's so hit and miss on what you get. And most of the time what I'm interested in is just the ornament issue. And the subscription was like 15, 17, 19, whatever it was, dollars. I think it was 19 or 17.97 or whatever it is. And all I got out of it was one or two patterns that I might stitch and then the ornament issue, which I really wanted. So I stopped my subscription, and they would send me little notices, your subscription's running out. They'd send me a special. After it ran out, they sent me another communication, piece of mail, and gave me an offer of free calendar, and you get free this and free that, and the price went down to $14.97 or something like that, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. That's still $10 for the ornament issue and $5 that I may or may not waste. So finally, the last offer they saved me, I'm like, okay, I can do this. It was 2 years for $25, so $12.50 a year. So that I did say I would do, because I'm going to spend $10 on the ornament issue, and that leaves me $2.50 that I may or may not get some patterns that I like. And I was agreeable to that. So I joined for 2 more years. So that is that issue. I also have a subscription to Primitive Quilts and Projects. And the reason I subscribe to this magazine, as I explained before, is they sometimes have cross stitch in it. They sometimes have punch needle, and they have wool applique, which I have started to fall in love with. And even though I haven't officially finished any, I still am collecting. I am getting supplies. I ordered from Amazon a light box, a light screen, so that I could trace my patterns. I've been collecting the supplies I needed to complete a project. This one I absolutely love. I thought it was just beautiful. But this book has so many cool patterns in it that I knew I needed to have a subscription. It's 4 times a year, and I'm trying to see if there's anything cool in this one I can show, except for the cover. And it's great because if you're into wool applique or you wanted to try wool applique, it's not that expensive, and it involves some hand stitching, which we all know we love. And they always offer a kit for, nope, I don't see, for the cover photo. So this wool applique comes in a kit from the company that made it, and it's under $30 for the kit. And so adorable, just adorable. So I get that magazine. The other things that I got was, this was a kit that I got off of the Wool D-Stash group. It is Primitive Gatherings Be Merry banner. So there it is there. And it comes with the wool. And this here is flannel to make the banner. So hopefully by next Christmas I get that done. And this pattern is the most absolute gorgeous pattern I had ever seen before. And it's expensive. I want to say it's $25, $20, something like that. And I really wanted it, but I'm so new to wool applique and I wasn't sure I would be able to do this because it is so detailed. But it went on the D-Stash group for 10 bucks and I just jumped right on it. And it is Horse and Buggy Country. And the pattern is called The Far Corner of the Garden. Look at the detail on that. How gorgeous is that? That's the whole piece. This is a smaller version. And it is just, it's multi-layers. And I want to get to this point in my wool applique that I can do something so detailed as this design. But absolutely beautiful. It is a thick one with lots of patterns. So I picked that up. So that was the end of my stash. Another thing that I was doing is making thread drops again. If you look, this is my overdyes, but if I flip you, let me move my glass. If I flip you around, all my DMCs are going on a curtain rod the same way. There they are. And I make my own thread drops because I have a die cutting machine. So this is all my DMC up here, and I'm still filling them because a lot of them are not full yet. That's why they're separated, because I've worked on this part of filling, I have to work on this part. It is a project because I was bobbinated before. So I had to unbobinate my threads, which takes a long time. I would be glad to do a mini video if anybody would like to see how I unbobinated my threads and redid them to go on to the thread drops. But I do make my own. So I have a die cutting machine, I have a template, I make my own thread drops, and these are the big ones that I use to store my DMC on the wall. So I have those, and then I'm making smaller ones to go in my project. So these are a lot smaller, but they'll hold a whole skein of floss. These are the white ones. So what I found that it's much easier, instead of trying to cut a very thick piece of cardstock with my die cutting machine, which takes multiple, at least 4 passes to get through a piece of cardstock that's really thick, that it's easier to cut the thinner cardstock and just glue 2 pieces together. So I made these, so they are white, and then I cut scrapbook paper in beautiful colors. This is all florals, there's some plaids, and these are double-sided, so it would be very difficult to write my floss number on when it's double-sided like that. So what I'm going to do is glue one of the colored ones, one of the pretty ones, to one of the white ones so that they'll have white backing. And then I can write my numbers on them, and I can also put the symbol that it represents. So I don't have to keep looking at the index, the legend of the pattern to see which color is which symbol. I just write them on there. So I've been making these, so having fun doing that. I have a lot more to go because I'd like to have a whole ring full. And I also have, if you have a die cutting machine, if you have a Cricut, a Silhouette, a print and cut, I believe, if you have that, and you can cut SVG files, and you would like a copy of my files to make the small ones and to make the big ones, again, I will add that to my LinkedIn account on Instagram when I get a moment to get my LinkedIn account started and get these things posted. I will post those for you so you can copy the SVG and put it in your system and cut your own without having to design your own. These are ovals, which again are so adorable. And then this one is a teardrop shape. That's the one that I'm using. The bigger ones, and they're thicker. These are the thicker ones. These are the ones I'm using for my DMC to store it on the wall. So that's where I'm at with everything. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. I don't think so. We've been an hour and 24 minutes into this. I really would like to start shooting videos sooner than 3 weeks. I really need to work this out in my head. The only time I have to really shoot a video is on Thursdays. That's my day off when my husband's at work and I can do what I need to do. I don't know. I have this thing about him being in the house when I'm shooting a video. I don't know why, but I do. I don't think he watches my videos at all, but I like the house to be quiet and alone, no TV sound, no nothing, so I can shoot these, pull stuff out, put it away. And so I need to figure out, I'm writing stuff down I want to remember, how to do it sooner so the videos are not so long, and how to share different things. So I said I'd do a video on converting floss. So I'll try to do that. If anyone's interested in that, please post below that yes, you would like to see that, so I will get off my butt and video it. It's a process, but it's worthwhile to me in the end, because I don't have to use I don't have to buy a whole skein of floss every time I have a project. I can just go to my wall and pull off the amount of threads I think I need to finish the project. And I'm pretty good at guessing how much I need for a project. A lot of my projects are not huge projects. If I have a large project, I will get a full skein for it. But a lot of the times I have little pillows, or I have smaller projects, and I don't need a whole skein. Why do I have to keep buying a whole skein of floss just to get these things done, when I can go to my wall and pull 2 or 3 of my threads, and I can get it done. Whatever's left, I can put it back on the wall for the next project. So that's why I started doing this, because I was just wasting way too much money on buying floss every time I wanted to do a new project. And so far so good. It's working out for me. And I just need to finish filling the wall with what I have. I still have things bobbinated that I have to unbobbinate. That's why I said it's a good time for me to shoot a video if you're going to see that, because I still have bobbinated floss, and you'll see how my process is. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I know I'm forgetting something, but it'll have to wait till next time. It was great for you stopping by to see me. Thank you so much. If this is your first time watching my videos, I hope you enjoyed the content that you saw. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notification, because I am not consistent in my videoing right now, so you'll be notified by the bell when I upload a new video. I am on Instagram. Like I said before, I'll post that link below. I'm trying to get more consistent in posting on Instagram, so you can see my progress as I go. I can't think of anything else. Nope, can't think of anything else. You guys have a great day, and come back and see me again. Bye.